Hi folks, so we're looking at a fairly new method here in the college for connecting WordPress as a course website or even a program website to a Google Plus page that then can have announcements that are posted to the WordPress site automatically posted to the Google Plus page, and then once into that page those messages can be relayed into various communities. What we're looking at here on the screen is the Google Plus page for the teaching and learning team. Now the website, get that up, is this WordPress page. So the single source of truth, as the saying goes, is this WordPress page, site. When a post is posted to the site, it is automatically posted into this Google Plus page. And just notice at the top here, I'm using Google Plus as this page. So a Google Plus page is essentially an identity, just like your Plus profile is, but it's a shared identity. So there are multiple authors that can manage this page. And here I am acting as that identity, so that when I post to the WordPress, which then gets relayed to the page, I can now forward that post into a community such as sorry, what, I forget the name of that community now. Digital. Oh no, that's the message goes there. Sorry, and I don't want it to be public in this instance. I want it to be one of my communities. There it is there. Now the important thing to remember about this, so I'll just finish posting that, is that the page is a public site, and it is possible, in fact, it's preferable that when you're using a community for your course, for example, such as the tutorial group or the course group, then you create the page first for the course, and then you go ahead and create the community for the course. So to stick with more traditional language, you might consider the page as the lecture, the community as the tutorial. And in the tutorial, anyone's voice can be heard at the equal measure. In the page, only the course lecturer or the course coordinator can post to this page, and then others can add comments. But you want to take away some of the complexity and have your students receiving the important announcements in the community. Some of them may come to the page and just follow the page, but others will just be in the community, and you want them to get the announcement of the lecture or other sorts of handouts and stuff in that community. So you post it to your WordPress site, the source of all truth, which will then relay into the page, and then you forward it from the page into the community. Now all bases are covered. If for whatever reason your student can't access Google Plus, doesn't want to access Google Plus, or it's an inconvenient thing, they might be using a non-Android or a non-Apple device, for example, then they might learn that just go to the source of truth and get their copy there. Okay, I think I'm making it more complicated than it needs to sound, making it sound more complicated than it needs to be. So what now should I explain? Also, this video that you're currently watching has been created as an event in this page. So you might think of this as the lecture. It's been created here, and when it was created, it created this new post, which I could then go ahead and forward that to the community, or I could have invited the community directly. The way to do that is when I'm logged in as the page identity, I drop down the menu and I go to Hangouts, and then I click Hangouts on Air. And that's me starting a new event, essentially. So you might schedule all of your lectures and do those, and what will then appear back at the page is the I need to view this as a public. It'll turn off some of those boxes, and there, upcoming events. So if we had a whole schedule of lectures going on there, they'd be in here. As they appear here, you then forward them into the community. Now, part of the problem to consider though is because I'm setting up the Hangouts on Air right here in Google+, the single source of truth is not getting a copy of that. But what you can do is in the Hangout window, which, well, I can show you that, but it would be a bit of a feedback loop. There it goes there. But try and ignore the feedback loop, because down in the bottom right, there it goes again, these links. There's the link to the event page, there's the link to the YouTube clip, and there's the link to embed the video. So any of those links, I'll get this out of the way, can be used to update the WordPress site. So just like that video feedback, there's a risk of getting confused in these feedback loops, but it's important for the scenario I already described where a student is having difficulty, is inconvenient, or simply can't access Google+, or Google+ goes offline, then this WordPress site, which is open standard, commonly used, and can be backed up, has a copy of everything that's going on. Okay. To post as the page into an existing community is somewhat more difficult, especially if that community is restricted. I haven't quite worked that out yet, but what I do know is that you can, if the page identity creates the community, which can be a restricted community, then it is very easy to post into that community. All right, well, we'll stop with that. That's connecting WordPress up to Google Plus pages, and then relaying those posts through to a Google Plus community.